Looks like the it looks like a New Jersey town is being told to evacuate because the EPA is cleaning up some mysterious barrels filled with mysterious chemicals. Let's check this out.
Well, schools and homeowners in one part of Monmouth County are being told to be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. This is because EPA crews are intensely working at a former industrial plant. More specifically, they want to know what is inside these barrels right here. This is a site in Farmingdale near the border with Howell. The plant's shut down, but the barrels stuck around. Now it's not clear how safe it is to even move them. News 4's Brian Thompson has the story.
Doesn't the city have records of what this factory was and the kind of chemicals they were processing? Like, what's going on here?
For weeks ahead now, this sound will permeate the air at this former chemical plant in Farmingdale, along with smells from more than 400 rusting, abandoned drums. For decades, chemicals were mixed for various customers here, one nearby resident telling me.
I remember when my children were younger, we were coming home from school lunchtime, and we saw the lids exploding in the air.
All of which is still possible here because no one knows for sure what chemicals are still on this site. It was just 2 months ago that the new owner was burning some barrels in this old incinerator on the property. The fumes and particulate pollution drifting into nearby neighborhoods, alarming first responders who rushed to put the fire out. The EPA rushing in with an emergency removal team, which is now well into the first stage of testing and segregating the chemicals very deliberately and carefully, one barrel at a time. When I asked about those exploding lids 40 years ago.
Does that surprise you to hear that at a site like this?
Again, it depends. You're basically proving the reason why we're taking our time with this.
And it's not just...
Yeah, like, why are there explosive chemicals just left in these barrels when this plant or processing facility shut down? Shouldn't the city had done something about this for the safety of the community?
These stacks of corroding barrels the EPA has to sort through before they can be removed and disposed. There are more than 1,000 small containers, again, unknown chemicals, that have to be tested one by one to find out what is in each, how dangerous it could be, and what's the best way to dispose of them. With some 4,000 students going to school within the 1-mile hot zone that reaches into Howell, residents are urged to have a go pack for an evacuation that could be called at any time if the chemicals catch on fire.
Why was this facility so allowed to be built so close to like a residential area? That doesn't make any sense. This building should have been like put on like closer to the outskirts of a city or something, or in an area where uh it wasn't, densely packed with, residents.
Air monitors stationed around the area to sound the alarm.
Everybody should have an evacuation plan, or I got to get out of here plan, and what do I do just in case I have to leave.
That being said,
Well, nobody should be required to have a bug out bag just because some facility down the street caught on fire and it's releasing a bunch of toxic chemicals. That's just pretty wild.
EPA does feel it has this situation under as much control as it can without knowing the exact contents of what's on the property, and certainly hopes everything can be hauled out of here by the end of the summer or close to that. Then it will have to deal with whatever pollution is left in the soil and possibly in the groundwater. In the leading Superfund site state in the nation, yes, there's a chance it could be yet another Superfund.